What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Quan Teasy with the Christ to Christ and the Red Pill Reality. I am here with another red pill. If you guys haven't been following what's been going on in the judicial court in California, all I gotta say is I told you it was coming. I told you they was coming after you, believers, and they are. We're gonna talk about it. AB 2943. We're gonna talk about it. All right, so AB 2943, what is that? It's a bill that has been attempted to be pushed through the legal system in California that is trying to say that it will be unlawful for any group or people or individuals to push or promote or sell materials that promote conversion therapy. Basically, what conversion therapy is, if you don't know, is the practice of trying to help people who have homosexual feelings or they are confused in their gender identity, who do not want to be confused or who would not like to be homosexual, giving them therapy to help them work through that in order to be the more normative sexuality. If you have female parts, then you are a female and act accordingly. If you have male parts, then you are a male and act accordingly. Simple biology, right? You would think. But this bill is stating that it will be unlawful now for any entity to promote or to sell or to use materials that would deter people who are saying that they're homosexual or confused away from being that way. And why is that a big deal? As Christians, what thing do you know of that we would be able to go to very easily and very quickly? The first thing we would go to help convince people that do not want to be homosexual but have those feelings that it is possible for them to not act upon and live out those feelings that they don't like. What's the first thing that we would go to? What? The Bible. The Bible is material that can be used to help people in therapy that do not want to be gender confused or homosexual. So that is a direct attack on our ability to minister to these people. And there are thousands and thousands of people who are ex-homosexual. They would try to have you to believe, the world would try to have you believe that it is impossible to be changed, what we believe to be set free from being either homosexual or either having being confused about what your gender is. The bill, I read the bill, and the bill is very dangerous. Not only can you not sell books in California, they don't want you to be able to sell books on it. They don't want you to promote books. They don't want you to be able to even tell people about it. Matter of fact, they want you to tell people that it is completely okay, it is not wrong, and you need to embrace it. They want even Christian people that don't believe that to start saying that. They want it to be a law. And if you don't, you can be penalized for it. Do you realize how crazy that is? So not only are they not allowing people who are trying to escape that and don't want to be homosexual but have those feelings, not allowing them to have an outlet to be able to pursue that freely, but they're also making it to where you and I, whoever else is in that field, would not have the ability to promote it and tell them that, hey, listen, you can be free. You don't have to be trapped in this. If you feel like you have these certain feelings or being attacked by these feelings, here are the certain ways that you can overcome this. They don't even want that because they think that conversion therapy is akin to praying the gay away. And that, and nobody that I know of that is a, balanced-minded, intellectual believer thinks that you can pray the gay away. That's not what it is. It's a very long and involved and in-depth and prayerful relationship-based process but you definitely can be freed from that, just like you can be free from anything. See, the problem is that they don't want it. They don't like the idea that we believe that homosexuality or anything of that nature is a sin. They don't like the idea that we believe that. They're not talking about that they believe that, but they hate the fact that we believe that. They want to stop us from being able to do that. AB 2943, and it has already passed one section and is moving on to the next. And if it's not talked about or brought up, and if we Christians don't get our heads out of the sand, like I've been saying, and let our voices be heard, then it's going to be passed. And what will happen is your pastor or my pastor will say one thing that goes towards that, and then someone will bring them up on charges, and they'll be in court in California, and they could lose their license and all this craziness that they want to have, because you have expressed how you feel, which everybody else has the right to do so. AB 2943. If you live in California, you need to let your legislators know that to vote no on that, to vote no on AB 2943. It's not law yet, but it has passed the first stage pretty much unnoticed, unscathed. You know, I told you they was coming for you. I told you. And this is what is happening. And if we don't wake up, they're going to keep chipping away. And then we're going to finally one day look up and say, what happened? How come I can't do nothing as a believer? This is not fair. Well, it's been happening. You can be jailed for hate speech in Canada. That's a fact. You know, you hear about all the stories about the people that, with the bakeries and all that wouldn't create a gay cake for a gay wedding. You know, just that particular thing, and they blew it way out of proportion, took them to court, and people that lost their livelihoods over this kind of stuff because they were targeted. Go look it up. It's right there. Look it up. These people were targeted. So don't you think that if this legislation goes through, that now pastors and ministry leaders and things like that will be targeted because the ultimate goal is to shut us down, period. Not to mention the fact that transgender, you know, the suicide rate within the transgender community after they get a little bit older is very high. This is not from people that have been bullied and try to make them change. This is from people that have gone through that stage and either have had the surgery or are so confused about what should be, what shouldn't be, that they kill themselves. You know, what about the people that have these feelings but don't want to have these feelings, that, you know, are really deeply inside want to fight against them? Do they not have the freedom, you know, to explore that? Now they don't have the freedom it's on there going to be that they don't have the freedom to explore that. And then they're going to come and try to confiscate, not confiscate, but they'll tell you that you can't sell a Bible because the Bible talks about homosexuality. You can't sell any kind of books that talk about it. There's popular ministries out there that's some of their aspect of ministry that is going to get shut down. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, the enemy is not kidding around, and we need to not be kidding around either. So I need y'all to pay attention to 2943, AB 2943, and there's another bill on a side note that is trying to attack homeschooling, which most people that homeschool, a lot of people that homeschool, I won't say most, but a lot of people that homeschool are believers. This attacking homeschooling to the point where they want you to register every little thing about it, so they know that you're homeschooling. They want you to register name, addresses, what kind of homeschooling you're doing, who's doing the homeschooling. They're even thinking about, I heard that one of the bills is trying to say that people that do the homeschooling have to be a certified teacher, you know, virtually making it impossible for regular people to homeschool their kids. So, you know, that's all I got to say about that. You guys, we got to open our eyes and be very vigilant. Not trying to be a scaremonger, but, you know, let's not be asleep, y'all, because, you know, they're going to take your rights away if you don't do anything about it. So that's all I got to say. Let's see. What do you think about it? Have you heard about AB 2943? Has anybody told you about it? Do you think it's a big deal? You think it's not a big deal? You know, comment below. And I want you to do three things for me. Three things for me if you can. I need you to like the video if you liked it, or dislike it, whichever one. I need you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And I also need you to hit that little bell that you see on the bottom, because then that lets you know whenever I'm going to post another video if you like what you've heard or you like some of the things that we're going to do. I promise you, we got other things coming up that I'm going to be putting out. We're going to do videos on a very regular basis. We're growing at a pretty steady pace, so I appreciate everybody who has subscribed, and we got some good things coming. So love God, hate sin, and I am out.